approximately 2 years ago, all of the community colleges within the CUNY system were called together with John Jay to see whether or not there was an interest in bringing on an associate's program in criminal justice. BMCC, through the auspices of President Perez, indicated that we would be interested, and Professor Clare and I were assigned to develop a letter of intent first and then a proposal.
In the past, all you needed was a high school diploma to become a police officer in local law enforcement, to about city and town, small municipalities. Now, in the tri-state area, right, with the New York City Police Department, you're required to have 60 credits. Nassau, Suffolk County, it's 30, and I believe the Port Authority Police is 28, right? So when the students come into this program, right, when they leave, they will be prepared, at least academically, to become police officers.
One of the reasons we were interested in this program is that many of our students have expressed an interest in law enforcement when they got to BMCC. However, up until this time, we did not have a criminal justice program. We are the largest feeder school to John Jay. So in essence, what this is going to do is it's going to give students an earlier preparation for the rigors of the program at John Jay College. Now, the program basically is a liberal arts program. So which means that we will give the students 5 courses in criminal justice, and the rest of it will be liberal arts based. The good thing about this is that, number one, it would allow students to get all of their prerequisites out of the way. So by the time they reach John Jay College, they would in essence be majoring in criminal justice. They would take introductory courses here, and there would be 5 that they would take, 15 credits here. Introduction to criminal justice, criminology, policing, corrections, and in addition to that, substantive criminal law, which is basically talking about the crimes that exist, such as burglary, robbery, rape, etc. And they would take procedural criminal law once they got to John Jay College. The rest of the program, as I said, is liberal arts based. Now, how this helps them is this, is that if in fact they decide not to become a police officer or something like that, the 5 classes could possibly be used as electives for some other degree program. So what they would do is they would have an introduction to the criminal justice system. They would then have a feel after 5 courses whether or not this was the career path that they wanted to go on. And if they decided they wished to proceed, they would then transfer to John Jay seamlessly. Okay, there is no need for an articulation agreement because John Jay is signing off on this. We have worked in conjunction with them every step of the way. So every course that we have put in the program is accepted by John Jay. And so therefore, they would seamlessly transfer into the program and begin their bachelor studies.
Since word got around that this program might be coming, you know, I'm approached on a daily basis. Professor Clare, when is the program going to be here? Right? A lot of our students want to go on to either law enforcement or the military. Right? And obviously, because of the troubles we're having, law enforcement is slightly more attractive. You know, my expectation is in the short term, this has the potential to be one of the largest programs in the school.
Criminal justice tends to be recession-proof in that, that as other jobs are lost, crime seems to increase, so therefore there's a demand for it. Another reason why we believe this program is going to be popular is that in general, minorities have been underrepresented in these areas. I happen to be the son of a police officer, and we have seen over the course of years that we are underrepresented in terms of the population inside these various law enforcement agencies. Minorities now are clamoring to get in because they see it as a path for a good career.
If you look at the starting salaries, in New York City, it's in the upper 30s, but when you move to Nassau and Suffolk County, starting salary is $59,000 a year, right? It moves up to $94,000 in just 5 years, right? Also because most law enforcement agencies are under federal mandate for diversification, right? It's ideal for women as well. Many Latino men like law enforcement, right? Based on what I've seen. Many new immigrants, right? This is their first step on the American dream. You know, this is an entry-level job, but it's a very important job, right? And it opens you up to, once again, endless possibilities, right? When you look at New York City Police Department, for example, once you get on the job, what can you do, right? Well, the question is more, what can't you do, right? If you're into aviation, you can become a helicopter pilot. If you like animals, right, you become a mounted policeman, right? If you're into swimming, right, you have scuba, right? If you're one of these very adventurous types, right, you have emergency services. I mean, the opportunities are abound, right? And forgetting one group, the technically minded folks, the computer people, right? Computer fraud is up, and NYPD and the FBI have some of the greatest, criminal terrorist units, in the entire world, right? So the opportunity is wide open for everybody, no matter where they're coming from. And what a lot of folks don't realize is if you become a police officer, you do 20 years, you're eligible for retirement. This is why you have such a rapid turnover, right? You're a relatively young man or young woman, in your late 30s, perhaps middle 40s, right? And the career opportunities after, retiring from any law enforcement agency are fantastic. Corporate security, if you just go down the board, most of the directors of corporate security with the Fortune 500 companies, where do they come from? NYPD, New York State Police, the FBI, the DEA, because the training that you get, as a police officer is second to none. And I believe that our program is the first step on that.
I have a wealth of experience in the criminal justice system. I'm a former law assistant in the Supreme Court of New York State. I'm a former assistant district attorney in Bronx County. I also did a stint as a lawyer for the police department over at One Police Plaza. So I'm intimately aware of the nuances of the criminal justice system. I was also a defense lawyer for a number of years. So we are going to be able to guide them and to answer questions. And if we aren't able to answer questions, we have the resources where to refer them to it.
I am the son of a retired police officer, and I know, from personal experience, it was really good for my father as it was for his older brother. Graduated from high school, right? Both of them went into the police department. Both of them had the police department pay for their college education, grad school, right? And their future's been very bright since then. I think the important thing about this program would be the careers that it leads to.